What's up, guys? It's your boy, Aiden. Back to another video. Welcome back to the first video on my another channel because I lost signed out in my other one, so let's get into it.
My name is Kevin. This story took place 7 years ago when I was 13. I had a sleepover at my friend Paul's house one night. This wasn't the first time we had a sleepover. What we would do is play video games until around 11 p.m. Then we would start trolling people on Facebook. And this night was no different. Paul and I spent the evening eating McDonald's, playing video games, and watching scary movies up until around 10:30 p.m. when we logged into Facebook using a fake account we created. It would send messages to people we knew. We came across one guy who lived in our area whose name was Frank. He was a black dude, buff, and had tattoos. For some reason, we thought it would be funny to prank call him, as his phone number was listed in his bio. We had to ring twice before he picked up. He picked up with a firm, yeah. Paul made a joke about Frank and his appearance, and we both were laughing. Frank then started cursing and yelling, and we hung up the phone laughing our heads off. The rest of the night, we made more prank calls and commented childish things on people's accounts. I think it was around 1 a.m. or something. Me and Paul were getting tired while watching a movie, and then we received a text from an unknown number. I asked what was that, and it said, "That's so funny," with a picture attached to it. After examining the picture properly, we saw it was a street sign that wasn't far from Paul's house. We both looked at each other, scared and confused. "What if they come to my house?" Paul asked. I tried to calm him down and think rationally. He wasn't at his house, only nearby. Only guessing where we are to freak us out a bit. We carried on watching the movie, hoping the phone wouldn't go off again. About 10 minutes later, however, we received another text without a picture this time, and it read, "Look outside." Me and Paul froze in fear. I remember being so afraid to even move. The lights were off, so you couldn't see us from outside. So I got the courage to take a sneaky look through the blinds. I couldn't see anyone, not even a car. After scanning the street properly, I said, "Paul, there's no one out there."
Yes, there is. Yes,
he checked as well. I told him it was probably just a text to scare us. He doesn't know where our house is exactly, like I said earlier. It didn't leave our minds, but we started to calm down a bit, plus we didn't receive a text message for a while now. And about an hour later, me and Paul went downstairs to make some noodles. As we were cooking, we get a phone call from an unknown number. Of course, it had to be that guy who had been texting us. I said, "Don't answer." The phone stopped ringing. Paul then texted the number saying, "I'm sorry if we upset you, but it was just a prank." The next thing that happened was the scariest thing I've ever experienced. A phone lit up just outside the kitchen window from the backyard, and a very large man was standing there looking at us. It was Frank. He looked so angry and held up a large knife and made a huge scratch into the window to where our necks were. We jumped out of our skin, screamed, and ran upstairs to Paul's parents. We told them there was a man outside. They came down and checked the backyard, and Frank was gone. We didn't tell the whole truth as we were afraid of getting in trouble. I don't think we slept the whole night. We still had sleepovers at Paul's house, but we never pranked or trolled anyone again. We also didn't hear anything from Frank, but we didn't need to. We got the message.
The Funimation app, in both subs and dubs.
I do dub and subs.
When I was 9, my father had died. I didn't know how and why. I was just sad about it. I soon got over it and would just look at the pictures I had of him. After some time had passed, I constantly saw him. Whenever I saw him,
What the
I told my mom, "Daddy's home, Mommy. Daddy's back from his long trip."
Oh,
Well,
no.
she thought those were recurring dreams, and maybe a sign that I wasn't handling his death well. Whenever I told her, she would just take me and my sister out to get some ice cream. I soon stopped telling her, because after we moved across the city where I lived, which is Reno, Nevada, I still saw him sometimes in my 6th grade class. One time, when my best friend and I were working during math class, I saw my dad sitting beside me. Then I whispered to my friend that my dad was right next to me and that he constantly followed me around. But he was different from how I remembered, because there was always a bullet hole on the left side of his forehead near his hairline.
Why?
In the 7th grade, he still followed me around and always frowned every time he saw my stepdad either hitting me or screaming at me. My stepdad was kind of tough, so he did that to me sometimes. Whenever my stepdad would enter the room, he got mad at him. I heard my dad gently one time in a dream tell me that he had killed himself because of my mom. He said that my mom cheated on him and always yelled at him saying he wasn't good at being a father.
Oh,
Over the summer between 9th and 10th grade, I was in summer school taking the 2nd semester of Algebra 1. I was sitting at the front by the door when all of a sudden, something outside caught my attention. My dad was staring in through the window of the door. His eyes were empty. I was horrified being watched by him. He came into the room and sat at the empty desk next to me. And I knew that he was not the same. I felt something was going wrong. I've grown up now, but I still see him a lot. And he's always whispering in my ear and telling me that my mom is the one who should have died, not him.
the frick? Last one, guys.
About 10 to 12 years ago,
Oh,
I was a drug addict living in Cleveland, Ohio. I usually spent my days smoking, drinking, and I was usually up to no good.
no.
I would go with whoever had the drugs, basically. One day, my friend and I were talking with this guy, and he said he had some dope on him, and he invited us to his house. It wasn't the first time I've seen him invite women over to his house to smoke and do other drugs. He seemed nice, but I didn't feel comfortable going with him, but I was.
No.
Then I saw another friend across the street, so I went over there to her. After that, I went home, and my friend went with him. The next day, his house was surrounded by police and news cameras. I didn't know why, but my friend ended up telling me that when they were in his house, this guy, Anthony, punched her in the back of her head and started to choke her. Then she woke up in a bed. She said next to the bed she saw a woman's body with no head attached, but she decided not to scream because he was asleep right next to her. She ended up crawling and getting out of the house, literally running out of the house, barely clothed, and ended up calling the police. Eventually, they found 11 bodies of 11 different women in and around his house. Who would have known that man was a serial killer?
Oh my
His
God.
name was Anthony Sowell. I'm so glad that my other friend caught my attention right before I was going to his house. Who knows? I could have been one of those bodies.
Now you, I'm ending that right now.